In support of the club's Active February movement, Craig Lamont, the head of media, joins me now. Craig, how are you?
Very well, actually. Just recently got over a bout of COVID, which sort of knocked me on off my feet for a couple of weeks. But been back into cycling for a couple of weeks now, and I seem to be feeling a lot better.
Yeah, I mean, you had COVID. That's not great. How's the cycling been since you started back?
It's the first time I got on my bike. It was a 12-mile ride on Zwift. I haven't been out on the road. I've done everything on Zwift, the indoor cycling app. The first ride I did was 12 miles, just real steady pace, but I was absolutely worn out. I couldn't breathe properly. My legs were aching. And 12 miles for me is, before COVID, it's a breeze, but that first ride back, it was horrendous. But 2 weeks back into it, did a ride this morning, entered a race, a TT, 10-mile time trial, did really well. Only sort of a minute off my best time on there now, so I'm pretty much back to full fitness.
I know with you cycling, you and one of the players, Don Roma, are big on that. Has that been something you two have kind of been challenging each other over lockdown?
I wouldn't say challenging, but I used to cycle when I was a teenager, so back a very long time ago. And at the start of lockdown, I thought, we got furloughed from my day job, and I thought, I'm going to be sitting at home all day. And I was already quite a bit overweight. I thought, I can't afford to put on any more weight. So I got we've got a couple of push bikes in this room with me now. And I got Zwift, and I got a turbo trainer. And I started doing a bit and just posting stuff on Twitter. And Dom picked up on it, and he started messaging me a couple of times because he's into cycling as well, like you said. And he just wanted to know a bit more about Zwift. And then we just got talking a little bit through messages, and I found it quite good. And I don't think Dom realised what an effect it had on me, actually. We just talk about it, and I had someone to sort of talk about my little wins. When I did a new personal best on a course, we chatting to Dom, I did this today, and it really spurred me on. Dom's a far better cyclist than me, though, and I looked at, he joined Zwift, and the power output he has got on there, and there's 4 classes of racing. Class A is the top, and he's at the top of Class A, and I'm at the bottom of Class C. So he's really, really fit and a very good cyclist.
An advert there for the fitness levels of Don Roma. If manager Steve Chet was watching, he is doing his workouts, he's keeping himself fit. So when he comes back, I think out of all the players, Don might get a little bit of a break. But
that guy, he's a beast when it comes to training. That guy is, especially on a push bike.
Yeah, well, if we can get him on a push bike on the pitch, I think we'll be all right.
Yeah.
But we can get some 4G tyres for it. I don't know. What's it like mentally having someone that you can celebrate those little wins with and have a laugh and a joke? I mean, every coach journey, away games, you and Dom were always there talking about cycling and how you both getting on.
Yeah, it's really good. I'm the sort of person who I'll start doing something and I'll be really into it. I'll be like, right, I'm into cycling again, so I'll buy a new bike, I'll buy new shoes, this, that, and the other. I'll buy everything. And then after a couple of weeks, sometimes my interest, it wanes a little bit because it's hard work and I'm getting tired. So when I started posting what I was doing on Twitter, it was like trying to keep me accountable. So if I was starting to post it on Twitter and Facebook and people were seeing it, if I then stopped, in my head, people are, oh, you're not doing the cycling anymore. And then I'd have to explain why. And so having that accountability, and especially with someone like Dom, being a professional athlete, it really spurred me on. And moments when I thought, oh, I can't do this today, I was like, no, hang on, if I don't do it, I won't have anything to talk about. People will know that I've not done it. And that really kept me going. So having someone like Dom, not just Dom, but other friends as well, it was brilliant to have that sort of accountability and encouragement from people.
I think that's what this whole Active February initiative from the club is about, helping people get active, feeling better, but also just that mental side of it, making people a bit more sociable. You're talking to people about it, even though we are all stuck at home at the minute, you're still having those conversations with people that are outside your household, even though it is via text.
Yeah, it is. And also, I'm part of a cycling group called Forest to Amsterdam, which are the guys who I know, a lot of them come to Baseford, and Chet's is involved in it. Both Callum and Steve are both involved in it, and it's the cycle ride to Amsterdam to raise money for prostate cancer. and I sort of joined their group rides on a Sunday as well, so that was really good for me. But during lockdown again now, we can't go out for these group rides on a Sunday. But I'm not going to lie, at the moment, when it feels like -6 outside, I don't want to become a bike. But we've done a couple of group rides on Zwift, and we've had our laptops open with Zoom on, and so we're doing the indoor rides as well. And that, it's really good to keep that interaction between each other. And we've got our WhatsApp group, and we talk to each other on there as well. So it's really good to keep an interaction with people. And people are struggling a little bit, but I think the exercise for me has been a massive part of keeping my spirits high during lockdown.
Yeah, definitely. I'd agree with that. I think every time you do, even if it's just, for me, going for a quick walk on my lunch break or something, you come back, you feel just a million times better for it. And I think that's the point the chairman is definitely trying to get across here with this month of activity for people, that if you do it, you're going to feel better. No matter how small the activity is, it is going to make you feel so much better mentally.
Yeah, totally agree. I mean, a couple of years ago, I was working in Colville, so I was driving to and from work. I changed jobs, and even so I started working in Ilkeston again. I live in Ilkeston. I started working in Ilkeston, and just that walking to work instead of driving, it was a mile walk, so it only took me 20 minutes. But I'd get up in the morning, walk to work. By the time I got to work, your body feels more alive, your brain feels active. You just feel something about you, just feel as though you're standing a little bit taller. And your heart's been beating, your blood's been pumping, and it makes you feel, it gives you a different outlook to the day, a more positive outlook. It's what it certainly does for me anyway.
Yeah, I have to agree with that. I mean, normally when the gyms are open, can we get them back open soon? I'm normally in there at like 6 o'clock in the morning, because I think your day then is set. You feel good for the day, off you go kind of thing. I know some people prefer to work out in the evenings. I know a friend of mine, 7, 8 o'clock at night, he'll go to the gym after work when it's open. So I suppose it's whatever you like, but exercise is something for everyone. There's always a time of day you can fit it in.
Yeah, it doesn't have to be like, for me on a Sunday when I'm out on the roads, I'll go out for like 3-4 hours, but you don't have to do 3 or 4 hours. You can just do, say, 20 minutes, a half-hour walk. A half-hour walk every day is so good for you. And when I'm out on my bike, and even if I'm just doing it indoors here on my bike at home, you can sort of zone out a little bit and just clear your head and just get through some thoughts that were stuff that's going through your head that might have been building up. Sometimes when you're out on the open road, there's just nothing but you and your bike and nature, and you can just sort of, your mind is freer to get to think through things and any problems you've had. I find that for me, it's just a great time to think and just clear my head and just put things in perspective.
How have you coped with all the lockdowns? Because I know obviously you still get to go to work and you get to go out to work, but how have you been finding it not having football and things like that?
I'm really missing football. Really, I'm missing football. But it's strange because I think I was furloughed for 14 or 15 weeks. So like March the 24th. And then I think I went back to work on the 2nd of July. And I'll be honest, when it was announced that we're going into lockdown and I was going to be furloughed, I was worried about how I was going to cope with it, because I like to be out. I like to do stuff. I like to be active. I like to be busy. So that was what made me, it was the cycling. If I hadn't had cycling, I think I'd have gone a lot. I'd have probably gone stir crazy, to be fair. There's only so much I can do in my house before I'm out of ideas and I'm climbing the walls. But the cycling really worked for me.
Yeah, I think that's the same for a lot of people at the minute. Being stuck inside, there's only so many things you can do in a day. So I think
it starts out great, I'll start binge watching stuff on Netflix. But after a week of just watching Netflix, I'm bored of watching telly now. I'm just sitting down. I want to do something. Yes, we could go out for walks, but the whole social thing of meeting up with your mates for a drink in the pub, or for me, like going to a gig and just going to a small music venue with 200 other people, sweaty music venue, and just losing yourself in the music with all your friends. Losing that's something I've missed incredibly as well. But that and football, I can't wait until we get these back.
I know you mentioned there the cycling stopped you going stir crazy. How big a lift was it being able to go out on your bike and things, doing the exercise every day or most days?
It was really good. And talking about, like, obviously Chris wants this is like mental health as much as it is your physical health. And for me, it had effects that I didn't realize it was going to have, because a few years ago, I'd say 2017, I I developed tinnitus, which for people who don't know, it's a constant ringing or buzzing in your ear. So it's just a noise you hear 24 hours a day. Some days I'd be okay, I wouldn't hear it so much. Other days it would drive you crazy. And that brought on it took me from being a really outgoing, happy person, and it brought me down. I started having panic attacks, anxiety attacks. I was on antidepressants. It brought on insomnia, so I was on tablets for my insomnia. I'm also asthmatic as well, which came on about 10 years ago. So the cycling, the effects I never really thought about. Within 3 months of cycling, of getting fit, and I lost 3 stone in about 4.5, 5 months, which was brilliant. Got down from 16.9 down to 13.9. But the effects it had on my mental health were my tinnitus reduced massively. So because I wasn't hearing that so much, I wasn't getting the anxiety, I wasn't feeling as down as I had been previously. And also my insomnia cleared up. So I was off my medication completely now for the insomnia. So this really does push the point that physical exercise does so much more for you than your physical health. It really, I mean, for me, it has changed me around. From a year ago to now, the difference is just, it's incredible. And I never imagined it would do this to me, but it has, and I just feel brilliant these days.
Yeah, thank you for being so honest and talking about that there. I think that will ring home to probably so many people who do feel down and think maybe physical exercise won't help them, but to see like a real example of someone that's done it and has helped them change their life, really, to not be having the tinnitus as badly as you were. I can imagine that must be really good day to day.
It is, because, you know, I'd have some days where I'd wake up in the morning and it'd just be, oh, there it is, it's buzzing away in my ear, and I'd be at work all day and you'd be trying to concentrate, and you just got this buzzing, this high-pitched squealing noise in your ear. Different people have different frequencies and different noises. For me, it was like it was high-pitched. But, you know, it's quite difficult, because when I first got it, you know, for the first couple of months, it was really difficult, because tinnitus had always been my greatest fear, developing that because I heard people talk about it. And so when I did get it, it was magnified because it had always been my greatest fear. And I had days when, you know, I'd come home from work, and it's a bit difficult to talk about, but hang on. I'd come home from work and I've had this noise in my head all day, and I'd just lie on the bathroom floor and cry. You know, that's how bad it got to me. Sorry about this. You don't have to edit this out. You can leave it all in. I think people need to understand though, but that's the point of where I came from.
Yeah.
That's how bad I was. And I kind of, 6 or 7 months into it, I started seeing an osteopath who helped reduce the stress in me, because like my neck was, the stress in my neck and my shoulders was so tight. But it's the cycling, it's the exercise that has lifted all of that. And it's taken me from where I was 3.5 years ago. There was days when I was literally, like I say, on the floor in tears, to now, when I hear the tinnitus, it's not as loud. And it's helped me, because I'm fitter and healthier, it's helped me deal with it in different ways. Yeah. And it's helped me deal with it a lot better. So when I do hear it, it's just like, okay, it's there today. It'll probably be gone tomorrow. It won't be as loud tomorrow.
And
that in itself, yet once I've got into that mindset, the bad days just drop so quickly.
Yeah.
And I have far more good days than I do bad days now. So yeah, I didn't actually think I was going to open up like that in this, but there we go. You know, big old scary bald-headed bearded me, sort of, yeah.
Everyone's going to look at you very differently now. That's what this is about. It's helping people improve the mental health. I know where the chairman is coming from on this.
Yeah.
The place of not just help the club, he wants to help the whole community surrounding the club.
Yeah.
I think for those that haven't got involved, my last question would be, what would you say to those that haven't got involved yet with Active February in the club, and how would you maybe say to them, this is the right thing to be doing, get out and exercise and keep yourself healthy?
Well, I think I'd say listen to what's happened to me. Like I say, it's taken me from rock bottom to feeling like a normal, happy human being again. But even on days when it's cold or raining, just go for a walk. It's only rain, it's only water, it's not going to harm you. if it's cold, wrap up nice and warm. Just go out for 30 minutes, 20 minutes, 30 minutes. Just go for a walk and just let your mind go while you're out there. And just, if you've got issues, you know, if you've got things you need to think about, that is the perfect time. You're out and about, you've got no distractions. Or if you just want to go just for a walk and just forget everything about that, you know, all your stresses, stick some earbuds in, listen to some music, listen to a podcast, just go out, enjoy yourself. Take that half an hour just to go out, enjoy it, get some exercise, and you will feel the benefit of it. I know it's easy to say to people who are struggling a bit, oh, just go outside and get some fresh air, get some exercise. I know it's not that easy for some people. It really isn't. But if you can do that, just go out, and the health benefits, physically and mentally, they can be absolutely phenomenal. I mean, for me, I'm just so glad that I got back on my bike last year and have done what I have done over this past year, because it helped me get over COVID quicker as well. Yeah. The doctor, I ended up in hospital after an asthma attack during it, and the doctor said it was my health and fitness that has helped me get over COVID as quick as I have done. So just go out, do some exercise, half an hour a day. Just do it. You will feel better for it.
Cheers, Craig. Thank you for your time today. Really appreciate it. And I hope you're staying. Thanks, Rowan. It's been nice chatting to you again, Harry. It's been a long time since I know we're not in a room together, but I can't wait until we get back to football. And me, you, Jonny, Mark, Alex, and James are all back in a room together, having a laugh and a joke, and we're about to go and watch a game of football. So, and I'm sure hopefully before too long, we'll be there before long, Harry. I'm sure the fans will echo that. I'm sure they can't wait to get back to watching football. But until then, we hope that you all stay safe, and everyone at the club can't wait to have you back at Greenwich Avenue.